I come from a county of Cavan. We have no rail network. Monaghan has none. Tyrone, Fermanagh, Donegal, that whole net area has no rail. We did, but honestly, the government at the time, probably about 6 years ago, had no foresight and decided to end the rail service into Cavan. And not only that, but allow people to build over the rail line and take it up and sell the sleepers. I know Cavan is included in the All-Ireland Strategic Rail Review, and I think there's proposals for a connection from Portadown to Monaghan to Cavan, but I think it's a way down the line. So it leaves us dependent on the roads, and the roads structure is very poor and it's deteriorating more and more. There's a huge rural network of roads in Cavan, it's probably about 3,000 kilometres. Really, it's about 10% of that should be repaired every year. There's not sufficient funding provided to repair 10%. It's a minute amount for the local roads. And Minister, I know that doesn't come under your current portfolio, but it came under your last one. So the funding wasn't provided in sufficient amounts to repair the roads and keep them up to date. We've had a history of poor roads in Cavan. We're going back to that, where we have had pothole candidates elected 20 years ago. The 109 and the 109X runs a regular service from Cavan to Dublin. It's an hourly service. Some of the services go to Dublin Airport as well, which is very welcome, but it needs to be reliable, and it's not always reliable. It's frequently late. And there are huge capacity issues on the 109X returning from Dublin to Cavan in the evening times, and often passengers are left standing at a bus stop because there isn't sufficient capacity on the bus. And this has been raised time and time again with the Transport Authority, and still hasn't been rectified, and it needs to be reviewed on an ongoing basis and extra capacity supplied where needed. The local link network is very welcome, and it's continually expanding, and is connecting local towns to the main town, or to bus networks servicing other towns, larger areas outside of the county. Again, we want to see that continue to expand and facilitate more people, but also the stops between villages are not allowed, and this is very frustrating. Like, for example, there's a service from Cavan to Ballinagh to Kinelec, which is just the area I live in. It stops in each of those towns, but it doesn't stop between them. So people end up that they have to go into the nearest village to get the bus. They might as well just go the whole journey into Cavan in their car. So if it could be stops facilitated between the villages, it would be very welcome. In relation to airports, like the nearest airport for me is Dublin. But I mean, it's such a busy airport. Like you drive there, you have to park, you have to get a shuttle bus in, and then you walk for a long time to get from one part of the airport to the other. And like when I was a child, Shannon Airport was utilised far more. I can recall going to Shannon Airport on a regular basis to meet or to leave relatives at the airport who were returning to the United States. But even I've used Knock Airport, even though it's a little bit further away from me, and it's such a convenient airport because you can park right beside it and walk in. Belfast is the same. So if we could see our regional airports invested in, and that they can use more capacity, would be very welcome. Thank you.